Welcome, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. We are back. I'm in Costa Rica right now, and I haven't been playing poker as I'm having a little breakaway, a little romantic trip with my Hannah. She and I have been together for about 5 years now, which is kind of crazy, and the passion seems to just never die, so let's fucking go. Old. And I'm going to tell you about the craziest motherfucking hands I've played all year, and it really was crazy. The amount of twists and turns in this hand is insane. So, let me talk you through it. We're on day one of the Mystery 2K Bounty in Prague. I think it's 2.2K. First bullet didn't go so well, nor did the second or third bullets. Fourth bullet's going swimmingly. Our energy's back up, crushing. Trip hasn't been so fruitful so far, but we're doing great on this one. We got maybe around quadruple stack, which, I think is around 4 bullets. Seems about fair.
Nice.
We are the best player at the table by quite a long margin, but usually that would mean a lot. Usually it means we have to take it kind of slow, not take these kind of marginal spots. But because it's a re-entry tournament, and because also we're about nearing the end of day one, we can actually be a bit more aggressive with our play than otherwise. Because, if you have a big edge on the table and you have maybe 8 hours of play left, then you probably want to be a bit more selective with your spots. But if you got a rebuy wedding in your pocket, and if you're about to switch tables anyway, then the softness of the table doesn't matter so much, and it's the rebuy, etc., etc. You get it. If you don't get it, I'll make a video on it. Just let me know. Probably the most underspoken about thing in tournaments is how big of a factor edge versus field is in making decisions. Now, solvers haven't told people how to do this, so people suck at it. Naturally, it's how it works. First 7 people that use the code throat singing, all one word, lowercase, in my website charliecarrel.com can get 50% off whatever they want. Go, 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 boys! Go, go, go! He's a professional poker player, as far as I'm aware, but he's satellited into this tournament and he's nervous as crap. And it's his biggest tournament he's ever played so far by a long margin. He and I have been very, very chummy. He opens under the gun to 4.5k. We're in the big blind with ace 10 of spades. Crazy, crazy, easy call. Easy call, but we look at him. We pick up a 3-bet. I like to get some reads. And it doesn't feel to me, for a bunch of reasons, that he's going to 4-bet. So I 3-bet him. It's definitely a non-standard play. I'd recommend usually or almost always just calling here. 99% of the time I would. Not in this exact spot. For some reason it felt right. We make it very small, around 3x. We make it around 15k. He calls. Okay, brilliant. 35k in the pot. Let's go. Got a decent chunk behind. 10, 5, 4, 2 clubs. Now, first of all, we've got a very aggressive image, and he knows us. He knows who we are, and he knows that we can be bluffing a lot in these kind of situations. Well, I actually probably wouldn't be, but, whatever. 10, 5, 4, 2 clubs. What do we do here, boys? Pause the video and decide for yourself what you would do, see if it's any similar to me. The continuation bet to 15k. Usually, you can go a little bit smaller in these kind of situations. On these kind of boards, you could justify going bigger as well, theoretically. But in this situation, with my image, I want to maximize value against ace king, ace queen. I want to maximize value against pocket nines, against other 10x, against flush draws. I'm going reasonably big. Just less than half the pot is pretty big in these kind of situations with a small stack to pot ratio. So we go 15k. And lo and behold, to my surprise, this man, he's a pretty sticky player, just to let you know. He's a pretty aggressive player. He doesn't like folding despite it being the biggest tournament of his life. So he raises to 35,000. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, if he's got a set, have at it. You've got my chips. Top pair, top kicker, 3-bet pot. Fucking no way. You've bluffed enough in the past to let me think that if you have me beat here, fucking enjoy the money, man. Bounties aren't in play until day 2 anyway. Enjoy my chips. Good luck to you. So the question is, what do we do? Do we call or do we raise? Now, this is a decision for you. I've given you all the information and reads that I had. What do you do? Exactly. I love the way you're thinking, you person. We min raise to 55,000, leaving us only 50k behind. This gives him enough chance to potentially put it in with a flush draw potentially make some crazy float or bluff. I mean, it seems wild to think somebody would just go crazy with king, queen of hearts. But if you've played as me throughout my whole career, you know how, especially people who know who I am, think that I'm trying to push them around. They'll just go bananas. So you have to go pretty thin. You have to go pretty creative with your value hands if you have such an image where people just really want to play back against you and win pots. And they don't want to be bluffed because they've seen me bluff on TV too many times. We min raise it. 50k behind, we make it 55,000 chips. I like the way you were thinking at home. I'm glad we're all on the same wavelength.
I got you, fam!
Turn, ace of clubs. The flush comes in, but we aren't scared of it whatsoever. We love it. We think he could have jacks at this point. We're not scared of the flush coming in, because if he had a flush draw, he would have just shoved it on the flop. This is beautiful. There's only one thing to do, boys. What are you gonna do? Pause the video and let me know. We're all in for 50,000 into a whopping pot of 145,000, and hallelujah, we dodged the snap call. We're good, boys. Top two pair. He's got fucking, what, 3 or 4 to 1? I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. We're celebrating in our head. A yippee-doo-dah day. But what's he tanking with? So at this point, I'm trying to work out whether I want to call or not. You know, has he somehow just like floated with an ace and got there? Do we want him to call? Has he got fucking like jacks with a club? In which case it's like kind of whatever if he calls. So I start asking it. And he's like, it's a tough spot. I've got a set. And I'd say for about 28.3 seconds, I don't have a heartbeat. There's just nothing happening inside my body. Which is pretty good if he's going for pulse reads. But that's kind of the only upside of this situation. He's got a fucking set? Shit. Shit. But he's tanking. This is the only smidgen of hope that we have. He's tanking, getting 1,000,000 to 1 with a set. And he and I have been pretty friendly over the day. Been pretty chummy over the tournament. And I've got to say, at this point, my manipulative side wanted to flare up and start speaking to this man. And if you've ever seen my footage with Leon Sukanik, where I make him make a fold that he's never made in his life, you know, even close, I do love to speak to my opponents. And I love to do it when I'm bluffing, I love to do it when I've got a value hand, and I love to do it in different ways depending on who it is and what the situation is. So I start pretty much whispering in a hypnotic tone into his ear. Man, just so you know, I really like you. And it's a pretty big pot anyway. I'm happy to take it, but just so you know, you got 5%. You know, you can town call you want. It'll be a ridiculous fold if you do want to make it, and I expect you're just gonna call because you got set. But just so you know, you've got 5% equity, and this goes on for ages and ages, and I'm just whispering sweet nothings into his ear. A lullaby is being woven into his heart, and eventually, as the clock is ticking down to 15 seconds, he throws his cards in the mug. We let out a sigh of relief, tell him he made a good fold, and we go on to day 2. Thank you for listening to my video. Just kidding, there's more to this story. There's another twist, there's another turn. We make it to day 2. We're sitting opposite on a different table to Patrick Leonard, who had actually already told this poker hand to. He's the best audience ever because he loves poker and he's so into it and he's fucking jumping up and down. It's great. By the way, I'll ask Pat if I can mention this in the video. Something he told me on that day, in that conversation, he's never shouted in his life. He said he's never shouted. I tried to get him, I shouted with him. I tried to shout next to it. I was like, come on, let's shout together. Ah! Just blushed. I'll ask him if I can add that in. It was something that's a very interesting thing. I have a few hypotheses about it, but it ain't my place to say. So we're speaking about the hand, and Pads is sitting next to the guy, and he's kind of going along with it, letting him know he made a good fold. But the guy, I've forgotten his name. I'll try and get his name up on the screen. He's looking at us, and he's like, I do need to speak to you about that hand. And he says with a lot of shame and guilt in his voice, he's like, I've been up all night thinking about this hand. Folded aces. Bruh. I was like, no, you didn't. It didn't feel like he was lying. It didn't feel like there was a single fib that this man had ever told in his life. Probably not good for a poker player. It felt like this was coming from a pure place. And I was like, okay. I had ace-10 suited. And the next thing that comes out of his mouth confirms beyond all doubt that he was telling the goddamn truth. Because it'd be a weird lie to say anyway. And he goes, you must have had spades. It's like, wow. You folded aces. Pads, bless him, just burst out laughing. We have a good chuckle at his expense. He's got a big stack at this point, so it's not a huge thing to feel sorry about. But still, folding top set when somebody's whispering sweet nothings that I have a set. Like, my implication is that I'm saying I have 95%. The only way I have 95% is if I have aces or tens and he's got fives or fours, or if I've got aces and he's got tens. That's the only way he has 5% equity with one card to come. And he folded top set. He put me on a flush. There was something in my hypnotic lullaby, I don't know what it was, that got him to throw away getting 3-1 or whatever it was. This is gotta be top 3 craziest hands I've ever played in my life. What a story, huh? What a fucking story. But anyway, shout out to that guy. I really, really liked him. I hope he does incredible things in poker. I've done stupider things by far in my life. And guys, I can't wait to make more vlogs. I've been really, really excited. Costa Rica's been energizing as fuck. We've seen monkeys, we've seen iguanas, we've seen fucking toucans. It's been wild, and it's such a beautiful romantic trip. If you want to see more about it, Hannah's been posting loads on that TikTok. I'll put that in the comments if you're curious to watch it. And yeah, it's been fucking phenomenal. I honestly haven't been happier in such a long time. So yeah, shout out to my heart. Sun is definitely very, very good for me. So the vlogs are going to come back as soon as I can, as soon as I get to play. I was tempted to play in San Jose. I actually got recognized. Shout out to my buddy, I forgot his name, Santiago or something. Recognized me in the hotel I was staying at whilst I was waiting for the suitcase that the airline lost. And he told me about a game that I could play in a hotel. So I'm thinking about doing a San Jose vlog on the way back. So we'll see what happens. But if not, I'll be back real soon, making some beautiful content for you people out there, and grinding up from $10,000 to $100,000 in vlogging every step along the way. Goodbye, beautiful people. I love every single one of you for merits of being human beings. Peace.